Hey there, guys. This is Flamzeron, aka YouTube's Tasuke, and I've got another cool announcement for you guys. Another piece of news that I like to do every now and then. But this one, I know I just did the Streets of Rage 4 announcement video. This one, I don't want to say we were expecting it. I do think there were maybe some possibilities for, or we were hoping for. I know I was certainly hoping for it. Not necessarily this specific one, but I have been wanting either a sequel or a re-release of this series. And for those who can't already tell, they recently announced that Capcom's going to be doing an HD version of the first Onimusha game, which is Onimusha Warlords. And it's going to be coming out January 15th, 2019. Apparently only $30 too, which is friggin' cheap. And it's coming out for PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and Steam. So this is friggin' cool. I watched the trailer and they released a little blurb of information on stuff. If you've played the Shenmue HD remasters, you'll see some stuff that they're going to be doing here in Onimusha. Like you're going to be able to switch between widescreen 16:9 or the standard 4:3. And they said that some things will be stuck at like certain resolutions, and they also said it might be stuck at 16:9 as well. Which I'm wondering if they're going to be like updating the HUD or something that's going to be stuck at like a certain angle, or if like they're remastering the cutscenes, and those are going to be 16:9 by default, even if you set the game to 4:3. I don't know if they'll do the thing with Shenmue where you can actually turn down like the HD rendering and make it look like you're basically just playing like a re-release that doesn't do anything. It's hard to say. They also said that they're going to be remastering the music and the voice acting, which I find kind of interesting. I do hope that they get Samanosuke's English voice actor back, who I believe is Robin Atkins Downs, who he's in the Metal Gear series. I mainly know him as besides Samanosuke, I think he was Origin and Symphonia, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember. He might have played a few characters, but I do hope they get him back because I really liked his voice. And from what I could tell in the trailer, because I never got that far in the game, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But I'm guessing my first guess is that they recasted the entire game, and that may be the case. Like I don't know if you're going to hear like Robbie Damon as Samanosuke or anything like that. But we'll see how things go. Graphically in the trailer, it looks nice. One thing that I am excited about that they clarified is that the game will have analog controller support, so you can use the analog stick to control. For me, this is a huge thing because, to be perfectly honest, I don't like Onimusha Warlords because of the controls. And I know you're going to be thinking like, well, how can you not like this game? Given you like Shenmue, and you might be also thinking like, well, how is that connected besides just the HD thing? Well, the original Onimusha game and Onimusha 1 and 2 have tank controls, so like left and right turn your character, and up and down make them go forward and backward respectively. Silent Hill 2 kind of did the same thing, and if you play MMOs, they EverQuest 2 and regular EverQuest, I assume, and World of Warcraft have sort of that same kind of style. And of course, Shenmue has the same thing as well. And you might be thinking, well, how are you okay with it in Shenmue and EverQuest 2, but you're not okay with it in Onimusha? The reason why I'm not okay with it in Onimusha was because the camera perspective, it made controlling Samanosuke kind of awkward. Because it's not like in Shenmue and EverQuest 2, for example, the camera is right behind the character, so it kind of makes sense, in my opinion, as to why those tank controls work. And actually, to be perfectly honest, I wouldn't want to play Shenmue in particular any differently. Like I know Shenmue 2 for the Xbox. I think I talked about this in the review, and they actually took this away in the HD version, which I'll mention again when I eventually do that video at some point, whenever I do that hint. They actually took away the ability to have that sort of modern control in Shenmue 2, from what I understand, even though you still use the analog stick, but it's like the tank controls. In Onimusha, though, because of the camera, I feel like tank controls just really don't work there because it's going to be awkward to control. Frankly, I don't really know how anyone can really enjoy that kind of gameplay. Onimusha 3 and Onimusha 4 Dawn of Dreams did it right, in my opinion, because I think Onimusha 3 still controlled with the D-pad, but it had like the more modern, like, movement. It didn't have like the tank controls or whatever. And I imagine you can still do the tank controls in this game if you want to, because I know Capcom's probably thinking there are probably a lot of people who are real nostalgic about that playstyle. I believe Warlords is the best selling out of the entire series, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure. I know 3 has Jean Renault in it, or part of it, because I think they got someone else to do his English dub, and probably someone else to do the French voiceover, and I doubt he's in the Japanese version. But, or voiceover, I mean, obviously his likeness is in the game. But, I'm really glad they're adding this analog control. In fact, I might actually give this game another chance just on the grounds that it's going to have that analog control, because it's going to be a lot more fun, especially if literally all it is they're kind of just porting over sort of like the control scheme of like probably Onimusha 3, I think. If they do that, I will give this game another chance. Another thing that I didn't really like, the opening cinematic where they showed like the dead samurai guy with the maggots all over his face, that was kind of gross. And that was kind of a turnoff as well. I might put up with it if the controls are better. At the very least, I'll rent it from Gamefly and give it a try, because I really like, the Onimusha games, and I think they're really fun. And this is actually kind of a good time, I think. I don't know if Capcom was necessarily thinking about this, but with Sekiro from Software and Ghost of Tsushima by Sucker Punch, I believe, we got 2 like samurai games coming out, and of course Neo 2 is going to be coming pretty soon at some point. Can't think of any other samurai games that are coming out. Maybe Elder Scrolls 6 will have a samurai theme, like, oh, the blades are coming back to fuck shit up. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, along with sequels to old beloved franchises forgotten and HD remasters, it seems like this is also the gaming season of the samurai, which you would think would prompt me to try to finish my samurai novel, The Sword of Kinra, quicker, but, life. Yeah, I need to get back on that. But maybe if I get this game and I play it, it'll put me in the right mindset to finish Kinra. I don't think this takes place during the Hononji incident. In fact, I think that doesn't even come in until 3. I don't remember. For those of you who don't know, Samanosuke is Mitsuhide Akachi's brother. In fact, in Samurai Warriors, and probably also Nobunaga's Ambition, if he's in that, he goes by a different name. It's Hidemitsu, literally Mitsuhide's name backwards. I made him in Samurai Warriors 4 Empires, I believe, and I gave him kind of like a cool design. Like, I made it how like this is how I would design him in contrast to Mitsuhide. I'd probably alter the colors to match Mitsuhide, but I gave him kind of like a hero look in a way. But yeah, I'm kind of optimistic about this, to be honest, because like when they first announced it, I'm just all like, well, this is cool and all, but like I would have preferred a sequel because of the updated control scheme. And I watched it and I'm like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. And then I looked and like, oh, they're doing the analog control. That's perfect. I'll definitely be disappointed if all it is they're just making it to where you can use the analog stick and it's still the tank controls. I'll be a little triggered, if you will. I'm sure even if they do that, though, the Steam version will have a mod for like the 2 or 3 people besides me, because again, I think I'm probably one of the only people who actually has a problem with Onimusha that way. I don't know. I can't say for sure. I never saw any reviews. I never talked to anyone who played the game. And my group of friends, I was the one who kind of got us all into it. And the first one we played was Onimusha Blade Warrior, so it was the Smash Brothers clone. And I literally got it because Mega Man and Zero were in it. But it wasn't until later on that I got kind of into Onimusha. And after Blade Warriors, I got into 3, and then 4 came out, which I actually kind of like, but I'm stuck. Like, I'm looking at it right now, and I know they released the anime version of Onimusha 4, which is literally just the CGI cutscene. I don't even think they dubbed it, so like it's kind of a waste of time to get that. I'd say just get the game and play it. But I'm optimistic about this. I think if this sells well, this could pave the way for at least more HD remasters. If they do more, what I might do, depending, if I buy one, I might maybe buy two, and if they do HD remasters of 3 and 4, I'll have to see. I think I'd rather have a complete collection, because since I already like 3 and 4, like, I'm not too sure. They'd have to, I think I'd rather have, like, a complete collection. Like, maybe do Onimusha 1, and then, like, if that does well, like, do a collection of all, of, like, maybe, the 4 games, and maybe have, like, a special thing where if you own, the first one, you can get, like, the other 3 in, like, a special pack where, like, it includes a slot or something, or I don't know. But we'll see. What they'll probably end up doing is just publish what they may end up doing is releasing them all 4 games separately and then do a collection later on. We'll have to see. But I am kind of glad that this game is coming out, though, besides just my interest in Onimusha and the fact that there may be a possibility of better control, because I think I like the idea of HD remasters for modern consoles. Like, I kind of wish video games were treated more like movies and cartoons and TV shows, where, like, they get re-released on the new formats over time. And, like, digitally remastered, or, like, digitally mastered if it's a newer movie, or, whatever. Special, edition, collector's edition that comes with an exclusive interview and commentary with the producers and the director of the game, where they reveal that there was a secret when they were filming this. The director was masturbating, and he forgot to wash his hands, and he accidentally got some of his semen on the camera, and he's all like, "What's that smudge about?" And they edited in that it's a rock, but in this interview, it's like, "Yeah, I was jerking off because I just love my movie that much." I know that's pretty gross, but you know how I do. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I think that it's going to be really cool to see this series come back. I'll say this. What would be ideal for me is this sells well, and then they do a sequel, and then later on they go back and do the HD remasters of 2, 3, and 4. Or, I don't know, like, something. They'll figure it out. Right now we just got to make sure that this sells well if we want it to, which I kind of do. So, yeah. Pretty lit, dog. Hopefully we'll get more cool announcements at a Tokyo Game Show, because that's coming up. In fact, by the time this goes up, we might be further along. I'll try to have these up. I know there are a few videos that I need to upload, and a few stream archives that I've been trying to get on both YouTube and Twitch. But we'll see. So this is Flames Around Tasuke signing out. I hope this sells well, and I really hope that they truthfully fix up the controls, because again, that's one of the things I just wasn't too keen on. But we'll have to see. So until next time, guys. Till next time, guys. Jeez. Okay, bye.